Hey, what's going on, guys? Tony here, CCxRC, and today's going to be our first look at the SCX-10 based mud truck that we're building here for you guys. Now, I've decided that I'm not going to actually do the build on camera. My kids just really want the time with me, and that's what this whole project is about. And so they've kind of, hinted that they wanted to do it without cameras, and so I'm going to honor them, and then I'll just come back in later, and we'll talk about what we accomplished and what hiccups we came up with, and faced, I guess, what hiccups we faced and what we had to do to overcome them. So we're going to start today. We've got it set up. They wanted to see right away what they're building, and so we tried to get it mocked up as quickly as possible. One of the first things, of course, was the paint. I did some of that with you guys live. We did the taping and all of that, and then I do have some footage filming the actual paint job. You can see the trim work, the silver that runs along here, top and bottom around. All right, so we said we're going to go behind the scenes with this and show you guys some of the build of what we got going on. This is basically the look that I want for the mud truck, the black with the silver, the trim molding around it, and silver front end, all of that. So I don't have the trim detail tape for this, so what I'm doing is I'm just going ahead and making my own. I'm just cutting little strips of blue painter's tape that I'm going to start lining in here, making this grid so that this will all in the end be silver at the end when I paint it all off, and then we'll still have the black grill. I'd rather not do this with the stickers. I might put the sticker on anyway, but I want the option to not have to. I'll probably have to sticker the lights, but other than that, I'm going to try and do some of this. This will be for the back end with the little handle for the tailgate is going to be lifted in there, and then there'll actually be pinstriping going above and below that, and that'll wrap all the way around the truck. So that's at least what we're trying for, but I'm just cutting with my little X-Acto knife little pieces of tape here that I'm then putting in here on the inside. So it's going to be a little bit of a process, but hopefully it'll be worth the extra work that I'm doing and look really stellar. That's what I'm hoping. You can see the thin line we're going to run around the side. I did around the door top as well, where it'll be silver. And then we're going to wrap it around the back corner here and have a separate part here, like a three-tone area. So we'll have a stripe on the top, this middle area, and a stripe on the bottom. Front, I've still got to work on up around the light buckets and everything here. Alright, so we don't have the perfect weather conditions here. It's a little bit muggy out. I've got two different spray cans here. One is basic black and the other is metallic black, and so I kind of like the metallic actually, so we'll just kind of go for it here. I think I'm still going to just do in the front end here, try and keep it localized, but do the basic just up here in the grill area. That's more than I probably wanted to put there. Usually try and do a very light first coat, and I mean very light, but I was trying to keep it from spraying everywhere, and so in doing so that meant that I had to be close. So we're going to go metallic, kind of that 1980s feel of that shimmery metallic paint they used to do with the browns and the golds a lot. So we're just going to do it with the black. Alright, here we go, round two with the paint. Go a little thicker this time. Don't want any runs though, so we're not going to go too thick. My sticker's just popping up. That's a bummer. Gonna lose part of my line there. Push it down, it still pops up. All right, so the black is looking good. I've already put one coat of this gunmetal gray on. That's going to be our secondary color, and then we'll have the chrome pinstriping and grill. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply another coat of this. All right, so I was told by Dave of Radio Control Patrol to warm up the body before you add the chrome. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll go run it outside while we still got some temp on the body and apply the paint. It's not the most perfect paint job in the world, but it looks pretty good. The painted grill here in the front looks really good. Got a few stickers in there. Go around to the back here. You can see the lights, the Chevy. They got the gunmetal gray there in the middle of the back. So let's talk about what we are doing with this truck, or what we've got going on. So we'll take off the body. The body is a Proline body. It is their pickup for 1980 Chevy pickup clear. It's like the K5 Blazer kind of a style, you know, maybe without the back on it. So let me go ahead and get this off of here. The whole truck may fall apart when I do that. No, it didn't. So all right, so we're good. So basically today what we did is we prepped the axles, shocks, and the SSD links in there. Unfortunately, I've had several things that have ordered just not be right. So we'll talk about that. We're going to be overcoming a few things here, but we want to get it built, and so we're just going at it. And so the first thing we did is we've got the hot racing shocks here. Now these are spring-loaded shocks, internal springs, and there's different variations on the spring tension or strength that you can do. We've just stayed with the middle ones that come already on it. And so what we did was we went in, here's the containers, the blue internal spring air shocks, 100 millimeter is what I went with. Now inside there are two, right in here in the bottom, there are two of these little rings here, or gaskets, and so we pulled out one on every one of the shocks so that they would rebound better and faster. So saw that tip from RC Overload, an older video, but thankful that he had it up there because these don't come with any directions, and they're just so slow when they spring back to ready position. It's just really, really slow. But this little trick makes them just work a whole lot better. So so we went ahead and did that. The boys, I showed them on mine how to do it, and then they did it. Also the assembly of these, basically the little ball joints that go in here with these little gaskets that hold them on. Kind of an interesting design. We've got the spacers installed. Overall, I like the look of these shocks. I probably would have preferred black on black, not having the blue, but it'll work, you know, red, white, blue kind of, I guess. But I would have liked to have stayed more with the silver, chrome, black, red look, but it is what it is. So the chassis again is a Southern Builds and Customs RC fabrication custom body. He built this, or chassis, he built this for the 1980 body that is used on this, so I just went and got the same one. I wasn't going to mess around and try other things. And honestly, seeing it with his body on it is what made me want this. So he had the mud bashers showing with it. I don't have those, but I don't mind the look of these ones that I got. These are just temporary ones that I picked up that had the tractor tire kind of look. I got them from AliExpress just as temporary tires while I wait. They're hot racing rims. I think they call this the 8-spoke design, or 8-hole design for them. Picked those up on eBay as well. Now into some more of the problems that we're dealing with. So, okay, first things first, we'll look in here. What's stopping us from proceeding is the skid plate that I got is for a SCX-10-2. You can actually see by the placement of these holes. I wasn't paying very close attention. eBay, they said SCX-10, then the 90064, which I just thought was a part number, but really what it is the SCX-10 90064 is like the ready-to-run version of No, it's not. It's the kit version of the SCX-10-2. And so it didn't say SCX-10-2, and it didn't say, anyway, it said SCX-10, then it had that number, and I thought it was an alloy SCX-10 skid plate. It is not. So I have a new one coming. I'm actually getting this one from Hobbytown. It is a Vader series. I think it's called a Monkey as the skid plate we're going to go with. So that's going to be coming. All right, the Lynx SSD, it comes with basically 4 links, and then it comes with a few other pieces. I tried fitting in rear upper links out of what came in the kit. It turns it up a little bit. You can see the drive shaft will be turned up a ways, which may work at this kind of an angle. We may be all right with that. So we'll see what that looks like on the front. But they're also a little long for the body. It sits kind of behind the wheel well. And so I don't know if I'm going to try and shorten these or if we're just going to roll with it and call it good. But you can see the shocks even still aren't rebounding very quick. So I'm going to go in and put in something there. Now it's starting to be a little faster. So we'll add some probably shock oil in there just to help it move a little bit faster and get through that gasket a little bit easier. So that was the first problem. Then the axles that I ordered actually look cool. We did put the rear axle on because we had everything we needed for that. Well, minus the hexes, which I did have to order. So I ordered a 2 kit, front and rear, full kit for the axles, and these actually look really great, guys. Except there's one big problem. There's no steering block or knuckle that comes off of here. And so it didn't come with it. It's in the pictures, but it's missing. And so they're going to send that to me. I ordered these. It was, a U.S. seller, but apparently they have some in a U.S. warehouse, and the only way for them to get that part was to get it from China, and so I have to wait. But it would attach to, it comes with everything, metal links and everything. It's just, really nice steering links. And then, carbon fiber top plate here. So overall, they look good, and it actually feels very smooth, the gears in here. But, yeah, I can't run that. So in the meantime, I picked up this to get parts from. So I got this from RC Crawler Workbench. He put it up for sale, and I picked it up from him, and I've scabbed a few parts off it. He does have some links, however, on this. My goal was to put it back together and make it another trail truck when I was done, and I got that axle back. And so we'll see. In fact, I even left the servo attached up front there, so I didn't have to dig in and mess with too much. So it'd be easy to go back together. But at this point, I might be having to scab more from it than I thought I was going to have to. So we'll see. We'll see what we have to do there. But we've got the front axle on off of that truck for now, which means we've also used some screws in some different places because these axles didn't have them. So I'm going to have to start buying some pieces to be able to reassemble that and get it back together. For the motor and assembly, the gearbox, transmission, I've got this Hot Racing full kit metal gears because we're going to be running some power in it with the mud truck and the larger wheels. And so I also picked this up on Facebook it was used Valenian VXL 3S series, so this will run 3S, which should be, I think, enough for this truck. So this, I'm hoping, will be enough power to really get this thing moving. And I guess the blue works all right from the Hot Racing with this whole setup. We'll have to find out where that's going to mount in there. I'm going to probably have to build some kind of platform in there to put some things on. Maybe up here, a little plate that goes up here. There's even some screw holes, so maybe I'll just put a piece of plastic up there and mount it in there. And that'll be for the battery, I guess, as well. So we'll see where that fits. But if this is all up top here, or at least this is up top, I could probably mount the battery here in the front. So, yeah, I'm looking through things. I did get MIP drive shafts for this when I was at Hobbytown the other day. And so that's ready to go. into the truck. And I picked up a Tactic radio. I like these. I have them on my SMT-10s, had it on the SCX-10 too. Just a really solid, very basic but great controller. So I actually have two of these now because this came with one as well. And so the receiver and everything is in there for that. So now I've got bunches of these. So they are all labeled. Got some nice Super Swampers to go with this truck as well. And so I've got pieces and lots of things to work on this with. But we are pretty much just at this stage right here. The one oddity, though, with the hot racing, kind of was shocking to me, is the way that they run their little ball in here inside of these shocks. I don't know the term for it. It's wider than the standard shock, and so I actually am like stretching this out a little bit to get it to fit in. Because they're plastic, I was able to do that. However, with the aluminum axles, I am not able to do that. And so I actually had to take them down to the grinder. And I actually took the SSD ones because they came out easier. And I ground those down so that I wasn't messing with the one in the shocks because of how these little gaskets here or seals work on the side. So that was a bit of a pain. I lost one of them. It went flying through the garage and I couldn't find it. And yeah, so that was pretty fun. But overall, I mean, I think we're on track to start really just assembling this thing and getting it ready. I need to get a pinion gear for this, which I could steal off of there. I don't really want to. So I need to do a little research and find out what size I want to run on here with this. So those are some question marks. Maybe you guys have, I think this is a typical 56 tooth. Looks like it's 57 tooth on here. I'm looking at it. It looks like a 57T hot racing. So what kind of gearing would you think? 13 tooth on the pinion, maybe? Something like that, 1357. I don't know. What would you guys do for a mud truck? Big tires, gonna get stuck in some mud. Need to have some acceleration for sure, wheel speed. But yeah, let me know. We're at 3S, and we've got waterproof this way. That's what I like about the Traxxas system. We know that we're good there. And yeah, other than that, guys, that's kind of the quick update of where we're at. We'll give you some more progression as we're going. I'll kind of, as we work on things, show you where we're at with the build. But overall, really excited with how it's turning out, even though it's not moving as quickly as I was hoping it would. And we keep running into snags, you know, having the axles come in missing parts and then trying to find axles to, you know, while we waited to even hear back from the eBay seller if I was going to be able to get these or was I going to fabricate something, which was what I was going to do next. But since they're going to send them, it's a few things to put in on this and it's easy to swap out. So we just decided to get a truck and get some axle on there and just build so we can start seeing it together. Because I think that's what the kids need to do, is they need to see their work and the truck looking like something that will drive for them soon. So next we're going to look to get the skid plate. We're going to try and mount all this stuff and let everything in here just with, I'm using little screwdriver bits here to hold in things in place, but just so that when I put the tires on, it'll stand up. But overall, again, really excited, really dig how the body turned out, and so that's helping us get the look for it and how we're going to see. But as you can see, that tire's going to sit kind of back here, and so we're just a little bit behind. I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe if I did longer shocks and dropped it down, it would sit better. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's what I'm looking at. And we'll see what we come up with here. But it's definitely starting to come together. This being a big project that's done with, you know, getting the shocks and stuff installed is pretty good with the links. And from here, we'll just start finding out where things are going to go and start assembling more and more. And then we'll start running it and making some mud pits for you guys. So thanks for tuning in as always. We'll catch you next time, guys. Have fun RCing.